everyone. Today is officially the first day of the new year, 2025th year, and I thought about starting this vlog in the morning, but then I did not have enough energy to do so, and the weather was very gloomy and dark, so we started it in the afternoon, and only now I got enough energy to talk to the camera, because before that I was just filming and doing things around the house, and as you know, with a baby, things around the house never end. So I'm just gonna start the vlog with all the things and my thoughts that I did in the beginning of the day, and then we're gonna slowly transition to this time of the day. It's afternoon, about 3 p.m., and it's getting darker outside.
The biggest task of the day that I arranged for myself was to finally get the crib out of our room and install the safeguards around our bed so we could safely co-sleep and that the baby wouldn't really fall out of bed or roll off of it when she's napping and we're not in the room or not watching her. The crib is going down to the basement. My husband's gonna disassemble it and we're just gonna keep using our king-size bed. It's the best way for all of us to get enough rest. The baby's calmer that way, and we are more used to having her with us. We have lots of space, nobody's squishing anyone, and I'm not promoting co-sleeping, but that's what works best for our family. And in my country, in my culture, parents or moms co-sleep with their kids while they're little, and that, in my opinion, makes motherhood way easier in the first few months, especially when the baby is constantly up at night. And then we sat down and had a breakfast, and recently I started kind of sharing our food with her. I just try not to add too much salt. I would lightly salt it or not salt it at all, and then everything that I cook kind of goes into a baby's plate if it's appropriate, because I just find it very tedious and very hard to just cook separate food for her. Plus I really want her to get used to the stuff that we eat, and that's the best way to promote it. And also it kind of motivates us to eat healthier, because we don't want to cook the food separately from the baby's food. She's not really interested in any purees. She really likes regular pieces. I just make sure that they're safely served, so like very soft, you can squish it with your fingers and she's not gonna get choked on it. Or if it's something that she can just kind of bite on, it's gonna be big, like larger pieces that she can confidently hold in her hands.
So as I said, when I started this vlog, it's about 3 p.m. at night, in the evening, and it's about half an hour from her second nap. We're trying to transition to 2 naps instead of 3 on the days that we can do it. So when we're home, we're mostly successful, because at home she takes long, deep, quiet naps that last from 1 hour to like 2 hours sometimes, and then we do the bedtime around 9 p.m. If we go out somewhere, we do 3 naps, because she doesn't sleep longer than 40-50 minutes in the car. And today we're planning on being home for the rest of the day. I did have some thoughts about going and doing some shopping, but then it's like a whole another story to get ready today and dress her, and in general to get together. And I'm working tomorrow, so I'll have to go to bed. So I'm gonna have to go to bed early, so we're gonna stay home. And right now I'm just gonna have to stretch time, and then go and put her down to bed closer to 4 p.m. And then when she's up, I'm gonna finish my project with our bed. She's starting to say mama sometimes, but only when she cries.
For our daytime naps, I leave the curtains on one of the windows in our bedroom open, because I want her to sleep through the daylight, and also it creates a higher sleep pressure for the nighttime, if it makes sense. But I did notice that if we leave the curtains open, she is not as deep in sleep during the day, and then she sleeps better at night, if you put it in other words. She knows that our bed is so she herself kind of starts to put herself down little by little. I don't really need to do anything, rock her, or like just gently pat on the back, or just sit there and wait for her to tire herself out. But she knows, and usually our sleep routine during the day doesn't take as long. She would crawl around for a little bit, and then she'll just end up falling asleep. At the moment, our wake windows are roughly 3 hours, and I don't let her sleep during the day in total for more than 3.5 hours in order to keep a good night's sleep.
While she's sleeping, I need to clean up all this mess that I have from cooking from yesterday. I need to unload and load back the dishwasher, and just in general make it look more presentable. I have a bunch of bottles. I stopped breastfeeding about a month ago, so we're just exclusively bottle feed. We're almost out of my entire storage of breast milk. That entire freezer is gone. It took us about a month and a half to use it up completely, and from now on it's going to be just formula, which is a little bit easier because it's less stuff to juggle around. It's thawing the milk and then making sure that it's the right temperature and stuff. Like, we can get rid of the bottle warmer, pumping parts of a bunch of other things that we've used with breastfeeding and pumping, and using the frozen milk, and just keep our precious water warmer that we keep upstairs and we use at night, and use the bottles and bottle washer, and that's it. And formula cans, obviously. But I'm just gonna start cleaning up, because when she wakes up she's usually more cranky at night, and she's kind of like hanging on my trousers, like holding on to that, trying to stand or like walk around, and she's just gonna be playing around you, when in the first half of the day I can actually do my things and she'll be playing around in her own manner, like with her toys. And then when she's up, we're just gonna spend our entire evening on the floor in the living room until it's time for her and for me to go to bed, because as I said, tomorrow I'm going to work and I need to wake up at 5 a.m. So usually on days like that, when I need to wake up early the next morning, I go to bed with her, because that's the only way for me to get enough sleep and not to be extra tired.
I'm still trying to adjust to that living situation with the kid when you have a bunch of extra things and they're constantly changing. First it's like pumping parts, feeding bottles, then you're changing it for the feeding supplies, silicone plates and cups, and extra toys that are always laying around the house. And as much as it's kind of fun and sleep, it's very useful, it's the thing that you use every day, but it's really hard to find the right space for them, and also really hard to find that right balance when you have enough but not too much, because a lot of the times if the thing is really works, you just want to buy a million of it and just have it everywhere. So I end up putting her things all over the house, and then it just becomes a constant cleaning cycle. I am yet to discover a perfect system to deal with it. And another thing that I'm recently trying to figure out is how to entertain her in the evening enough so she's not too upset and too cranky, especially on the days when she's too tired, but at the same time how not to go crazy yourself. Because a lot of the times lately we just hang out together, sit on the floor, play with our toys, and we do have a TV on the background for some quiet times when she can kind of play on her own. But recently I started noticing that she kind of looks at the screen more often, and I don't really want to introduce her to like kids movies and stuff too early. So that's another thought that's kind of occupying my head in the meantime. And if you have any advice about that, please let me know. Like, if you don't watch the TV while your kid is going crazy around you in the evening, what do you do? How do you keep yourself sane and them busy and happy at the same time? Or do you just do the same thing that we do? So this is the finished result. It also goes together with the edges like that. You kind of put it together so it doesn't move. It can carry the weight of a child. They can lean on it. And on top of all of that, there is another thing that connects it on two sides
on the top of the bed. So this should be really good, and I'm very happy to have this space back because I wasn't able to get to the light, so we wouldn't use the light, and the other nightstand was standing sideways and we couldn't use the drawer because it wouldn't fit when the crib was here. So the entire bedroom is now starting to get together, even though there is still some things that I want to change, like this dresser is gonna go, and I want to hide all the clothes stuff inside and put here the vanity. I need to go through her clothes. I already started doing it downstairs, but I want to get rid of everything that doesn't fit her anymore or barely fits. So it's everything under 9 months, and she's like 8 right now. But I'm taking out the 12-month clothes, and I'm just gonna like clear this area out of other stuff. But so far this is it. I can just relax, finish my evening, and go to sleep because I have a very early morning tomorrow. And we just had a little accident. She hit her forehead off on the side of the door, on that like door box, and I can't really secure every door box, but I have to be more mindful about the corners. She was crawling around, we were having fun, and then at some point she just like jumped too fast forward and hit her head right above the eyebrow. That was painful and it was like the first serious injury that made her cry for a good 10 to 15 minutes that I could barely stop, and made me extremely anxious about everything else in the house. But so far so good. She's okay now. My husband's home. We installed the bed rails, and I'm excited to go to bed without having all this stuff around us. I want to say thank you very much for watching this video, this vlog. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you'll give me a thumbs up or decide to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!